Welcome back to Whiskey Wednesday. At long last, been absent for a couple of weeks. There's a reason for that. But I think the last Whiskey Wednesday was on my birthday, which was the 13th. So yeah, it's a couple of weeks ago now. And what has been going on? So much. There's so much to talk about on this one. But we'll kick it all off with a nice welcome. I know we've got quite a few new people subscribed to the channel now, so this could be their first experience. Hopefully it's not their last. I do my best to be a good boy. But yes, Whiskey Wednesday, and we always kick it off with, obviously, some whiskey. Now, this is one of my favourites, Highland Park. I can't go wrong. It's probably my go-to if I'm not sure what to buy. I've had a couple already because this was a new bottle. Did a bit of cooking tonight and had a couple, but that's a good excuse. My wife always says, "Oh, you're not on it again." So yeah, it's Whiskey Wednesday, so I'm allowed. Well, that's what I say to myself anyway. But this is gorgeous. Obviously, I'm not promoting drinking, but I do like a whiskey, especially on a Wednesday. So we'll get that bottle open. This is for you, 365, and all you whiskey lovers out there. It's just so cool to when you pop that cork. Just like that. Sounds so good. I should discipline myself tonight and try not to drink too much. But I'm sure the regular viewers will know, yeah, they're probably all saying, yeah, whatever, CPM. We'll see. Anyway, cheers everybody. Here's to your happiness and health. How flipping gorgeous. Okay, we'll just run through the normal ritual. And that's not having a puff on my vape. But we've got the normal suspects. Obviously, we've got Cobra's little corner down here, sitting nicely. And then we have Daft Precious Metals. His poker chip, but I have got another one over here somewhere where the stack collector is. Sitting there nicely with next to his poker chip. Addicted to Precious Metals, Stephen's channel round is stunning. Stacker Social, Poker Chip, Daft, and 365 corner. And a nice doggy keeping an eye on him. Camel Finance, boy, my must go to every day almost. Channel to listen to. Jim's Prezi, yeah, a few stickers. CY Sterling, obviously Cobra, Addicted Precious Metals, 365 Stack Collector, Daft Precious Metals. So cool. I'm very privileged. And that whiskey barrel was a gift for anyone new on the channel. It was a gift from Cobra Stacker. He's a very, very generous guy, which is really nice. So anyway, that's the ritual over and done with. Quick introduction. I love my backdrop now. I can't believe I've got so much up there. Yes, it's quite a nice bit of eye candy every time I come into my studio. It's really cool. Anything from copper, bits of silver. It's even, I was going to say gold, but I was saying no, I haven't got any gold there because I don't leave that lying around in my studio. But for anyone wondering what the Cobra Stacker's holding, a 1 gram gold piece of gold. That's what he's holding. So yes, there is a piece of gold out here, and boy is that seemingly worth a few pennies now, which is amazing. So what's been going on? I've had a bit of almost a 2 week break away from YouTube. I like to do that every now and then because I find myself getting a little bit too involved with the noise of social media, and I do like to have just a little break, just to reorganise my mind into what my goals are, so I don't take my finger off the pulse really, and it seems to work. So yeah, it's been a nice little break away from social media as such. And when I say away from social media, it's just me actually doing stuff on my channel, which I've obviously hopefully people have started to see. I've started to put some more stuff together recently. But anyway, let's go back. What's going on? Well, let's go back to last Friday. Cobra's auction, amazing. I believe he had quite a successful auction, which was cool. I've never seen so many premium pieces go in one night on any other auction he's done, which was really cool to see. He's a good friend, but at the same time, he's trying to do a thing, and I try to support him as much as I can. But it's so cool to see slowly his hard work is definitely paying off. He's bringing in some beautiful stuff. I did a video, I think yesterday, put it on YouTube, of some of the art pieces that I've collected off of him over the last 6 or 7 months, 8 months maybe. And it wasn't all of it, but it was probably some of my nicest arty pieces that I buy, which are obviously quite premium, but it's so cool, and to put it together into a video like that was really nice. I really enjoyed it. Very creative, which is what I'm all about, and I'm going to do a lot more of that going forward. But yeah, getting back to his auction, I was a really good boy. He had some. Well, I think mainly he was. I think he was a bit surprised himself. He saw that quite a few people were interested in the premium stuff this time around, and I think it pretty much cleared him out of premium pieces. There was amazing stuff on there. Highly recommend anyone if you're looking for, especially in the UK. If you're looking for certain pieces that are different and you want to collect, then he's definitely worth a visit. He does them every Friday now from 7 o'clock UK time. You do have to be a member to bid on his channel, but it's only £2 something, and there's so many perks to that, being a member of his channel. He does quite a few giveaways in his vault, which is really cool. So yeah, he probably doesn't make too much out of membership, to be honest, especially as YouTube take a bit out of it. So yeah, it's well worth it. Well worth it indeed. Which is super cool, super cool. So yeah, Cobra's auction, which I can't believe 2 days' time there'll be another one. So it'd be interesting to see what's there. Camel's channel, Camel Finance's channel. I've been watching Camel's channel, oh crikey, for well over a year. It might even be longer than that, year and a half maybe. I think I first found his channel, I can't remember, but I'm sure there was less than 300 or 400 subscribers back in the day. And I come across his channel like you do with YouTube. You just come across stuff every now and then. That's the way the algorithm works. And I've been an avid fan of his channel ever since. And our relationship has grown over time. We're very supportive of one another. He does his thing, obviously, and I have found it of great benefit through my my investment growth phase and learning phase, albeit that's notice Saint's fallen over, albeit that's an ongoing process. Obviously, Goldbacks has fallen over there. So yeah, camels are a bit of a go-to for me. Watch every day because I learn so much. I'm not a trader. I have no intention of being a trader, I think. Who knows? I'm knocking on the door 60 years of age, so maybe if I was a lot younger, I might have a little dabble, but I don't personally need to trade in a professional way or in an amateur way to a degree. But saying that, just generally, if you're interested in learning about finance and investment, then his channel is just a must. It's and there's nothing special about me at all. Definitely nothing special about me at all. Just a normal pleb peasant. But the information he provides, free of charge, which is incredible, has definitely helped me on my journey. So he always is a personal feature of my channel, and I'm going to talk about him in a little while again anyway. So yeah, Camel is not. I thank you, bro, for being around, for supplying the stuff you do. The Stat Collector. Hey, last Saturday I was a guest on the Stat Collector's channel. Before I talk about that, I'm very quickly going to just say I am unbelievably blown away with what the Stat Collector not only contributes to the UK community and beyond, but I've grown very fond of his channel and what he's doing. It's so nice to see a channel grow in a natural way, through natural creativity and from a good soul. So yeah, it's definitely worth, if you haven't heard of the channel, it's the Stat Collector, so on YouTube, well worth a look. Anyway, I was on his Saturday chat, which he does every Saturday, and it's the second time I've been on there. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was amazing. It was great. Probably drunk too much whiskey in the end, but I think I was a fairly good boy with my language, probably until the end. Cobra said I was getting a little bit silly at the end, but I know that's something for me to just be very aware of and learn from. But no, it was a great experience. I can't thank you enough, the Stat Collector, for having me on. I'd love to do it again. There was some fantastic questions, one of which I want to approach tonight that I probably didn't answer to the best of my ability that night, but we're gonna have a look at it again tonight. So the Stat Collector, check him out, guys. Well worth it. What he doesn't know about most British coins, coins in general, yeah, it's incredible. I'm sure at some point in his life he swallowed an encyclopedia and just memorised it naturally somehow. But yeah, super cool, great experience, loved it, and it's my go-to listen to probably on a Sunday morning every week now, which is really cool indeed. 365 has been a bit quietish recently, unless I'm missing anything. But what I did find absolutely hilarious was his video he put out on the 1st of April, which, when I first saw it, I just thought to myself, what's that all about then? And for some reason I saw the date on it didn't really comprehend. I saw the date and I thought, the 1st of April, unbelievable. The 365 has been very supportive of my channel and continues to be, and I have never not wanted to support him back. He's genius. He's a genius. He's someone that I look up to in a way where he teaches me so much about modern day social media and psychology of how people operate in and around social media. He's so cool at it. Yeah, hats off. He says to me I'm creative, but he's very creative in a different way, and he maximizes it, and I try to learn so much from what he's doing. His content, yes, sometimes, I'll always be honest about this, doesn't suit my genre, but then he's not out there to suit me. He's out there to suit the masses. He's very supportive, very well known, very liked in the community. But his tracking video hyped up a ton of interest view wise into his channel, which is fair play. I can only clap and say cheers to you, dude. You know how to work the system so well. And I aspire to be creative in a different way, but with the same passion that you do. So I can't do anything but salute you. You're very good, very, very, very good, and I will support you. So yeah, if anyone's watching this, go and check him out. He's a great guy, great family guy, and very supportive of his passion towards the community. Yeah, I'm not going to blow smoke up any more of your backside, because you know I support you. So that's really cool. Other than that, it's the general bombardment of what's going on in the marketplace. Now, I quickly wrote down, it was a 7:15 when I wrote these prices down. I very quickly, I do it in dollars and pounds. Bitcoin was sitting at $66,000, £52,000. Gold was sitting at $2,280, which is £1,812. Silver was sitting at $28, which is, and they're all approximate, as near as damn it, which is £22. Now, pardon me, Bitcoin's been sort of this year, last year, mainly this year, because of its all-time high break, a lot of hype around it. There's a lot going on around it. Totally, it's been at the forefront of quite a few people, especially on social media, and to a degree starting to sneak into mainstream media more because of what it's doing. Price going up attracts volume of people looking at what's going on. Which is interesting. It's fascinating. We're funny people, but that's what we do. Gold, just a week and a bit ago, was showing signs of a bit of strength, but then all of a sudden it went boom, boom. I'm here. It's almost like I'm here, off of the old Poltergeist film from back in the 70s or 80s, whenever it was. When the little girl was looking at her telly and all the noise going on in the telly, and she, it's here. And that's what gold seemed to do all of a sudden. And yeah, that's looking fairly strong, and it's continued its strength. And I think today's the only day where we've just started to see it. Maybe has it maxed out? Has it not maxed out? Is it taking a breather? Is this going to see a little bit of consolidation? Who knows? Who knows? And then silver was lagging behind until I think yesterday decided to go, I'm here. And that was quite significant for me, because I'm learning from Camel. On one of my, I call it a TA chart. I'm no professional at this, of course, but It's one of my charts that I use lines as indicators to give me a fair idea of what's going on. You know, it's what Camel's taught me over time. And I was talking to Cobra today, and I said, "Oh, keep an eye on silver." This was, I think, it was yesterday, because it looks like it might break out of a trend line that it hasn't really held above since I think it was April 2011, the way it was plotted on my chart. And that's really interesting. Is it going to do a gold thing? And lo and behold, it held above, and it stayed above it, and it's moved on since. You know, at £22. So looks like there's a fair amount of strength there. So that's interesting. Gold, silver, Bitcoin, the three things that I'm pretty passionate about as a rule in my investment journey. And yeah, it's wonderful to see. The only thing is instantly you see everyone going mad. Is this time about silver? Are we in for new time highs? Everyone jumps on the bandwagon. Is it silver's time? Is it gold's time? Is it Bitcoin's time? Is Bitcoin going to drop? You know, I find it absolutely, from a psychology point of view, I find it absolutely amazing. I get it because it makes great content. And if you're a content creator, then you're going to use that. But it can be a bit dangerous if you don't understand what's going on. Yeah, it definitely can be a bit dangerous, because now I mean, everyone do what you do. I don't know nothing, really, to be fair. All I do is express myself and my thoughts. There's never any advice here other than common sense, hopefully, I try and put across. So, with all this hype, and social media obviously plays a massive part of most of our lives now. We're almost continually connected to it through one way, shape, or the other. Through the hype, the up hype, I call it, because there is down hype too. But the up hype, there's this thing called FOMO, fear of missing out. And we can all be very, what's the word? I can't think of the word I want to use. Susceptible to, oh my God, there's all this hype around. This hasn't happened for so long. There's a reason why I need to get in. And that can be a dangerous process. Now, you do whatever you want. I've learned, you know, I see this. My conversations with certain people recently, because it's healthy to have conversations, and I'm saying, oh God, you know, what's going on here? You know, this is a bit unusual. Is this the time? Is this what we've been waiting for? If you've been stacking, collecting for years and years and years, is this what you're waiting for? You're waiting for this big... Now, you, as I keep saying, you do you, but just be very, very careful. There's a lot of information out there that is basically some creators will use to create content, which is fine. That's what the news does. That's what our lovely media does. They report news, they hype it or they don't hype it. All depends what the agenda is. So us as viewers, we don't have to do anything. Obviously, you just do what you want to do. But my challenge is always to decipher what's going on part that triggers off in my head now. So the message with all of this that's going on at the moment from me is just seriously give yourself 5 minutes I don't think anything's going anywhere. Obviously, you do you. But I will literally do what I did like last week, in the past couple of weeks. I will just move myself away from it and take a more logical, conscious point of view without too much noise, to try and understand and educate myself to look at the possibilities. And then that way you start to risk assess what your next move is, whatever your next move will be. Not investment advice, but it kind of makes sense. It's kind of logical, and I think that sort of mentality can be applied in anything. So yeah, be careful out there, guys. I'm sure there's all sorts of opportunities ongoing, but it does help if you are fairly serious about playing around with your hard-earned money, which is very important to have, depending where you live in the world. It's it's there is no fear of missing out. There's a fear of getting screwed. There's a fear of getting scammed. There's a fear of losing everything, and quite right so. So I always see these times as powerful moments where it gives me the opportunity to go, okay, what's really going on here? How can I really assess what's going on? Is this technically happening? What's the chance of it carrying on? Find a few people that you can trust and talk to from all walks of life. Disassociate yourself with the hype and do a little bit of learning, and then make proper assessments, because your money's precious, so you've got to look after it for sure. But the flip side of that, I will say, excuse me, from my point of view, the work that I've personally done over the years that I've been doing this, then times like this are really cool, because you do pat yourself on the back and think, yeah, maybe I've done the right thing over time. Maybe I did the right research. But I will keep saying this, it's only as good as what your end game. If you can get to your end game, whatever your end game is, and you've been relatively successful in whatever you've exchanged your hard-earned money and energy for and invested in, and if you can come out with an end at the end game pretty near to where you want it to be, then fair play. And that's the reality. It's wonderful and fantastic seeing stuff go up to some degree. It's kind of cool if you're really into it. It's nice when it comes down too, because it means you can accumulate more, if that's what your belief is after you've done your research. But really, it just makes you feel good. If there's no end benefit from it other than make you feel good, which is important, then you've got to be on your guard. You've got to be careful. You've got to, be reasonable with yourself half the time. So, I don't know. Hopefully that's a bit of wisdom there. But, yeah, it's cool. It's really cool. And there's a bit of euphoria around the marketplace. It's even cooler when you've got half an idea of why these things are going on. And that's why it's really cool to do your research. So that's a super cool position we're in at the moment. And the same applies, you know, if you're into your stock market, whatever you're doing, you know, just be careful. Be careful. I think that's the general thing that I like to put across on my channel. I'm not here to say what's good or what's bad, really. It's so personal. All I can do is share my thoughts. Nothing more, nothing less. So that brings me to a question that come up on the Stacks Collectors channel, and I think it was Future Investments brought this question up, and I can't remember it totally, but it went along the lines of he was asking, in a way, advice, and it was along the lines of, with Bitcoin. Now, he was thinking of putting £1,000 into Bitcoin, and he said, is that enough? Great question, really. Is that enough? As he'd been advised, strange set of words, really, but I know this applies, that he needed to put in at least £3,000 to £3,500 into Bitcoin. Now, the Stack Collector answered this in the most common sense way, you know, and he said along the lines of, you know, you invest what you can afford to lose, basically, and that is one of the biggest fundamentals of anything you do in life. If you classify investing anything into anything, you know, into cars, into houses, into, you know, you name it. If you're investing your time and energy, when I say time and energy, for anyone that doesn't know what I mean by that, I mean it's your personal time and energy creates an exchange for fiat currency, whatever country you live in. So I say your time and energy because I think that's more appropriate to say it that way, because it's your investment in yourself. So yeah, the Stack Collector answered it brilliantly. I say, yeah, you know, if you can afford to lose £1,000, then you invest it at that risk. You know, you do a bit of work and whatever. But the gem. Hopefully I'm getting this right. But the general principle is that there's things out there that are seen as high risk, low risk, medium risk in the financial world, and if you consider Bitcoin as a high risk, medium risk, or low risk, many see it as a high risk, medium to high risk, then like anything, you know, be whatever you invest, just be prepared. And this is so true. It's the most logical thing ever. Be prepared to you know, to lose it. Which is quite straightforward. It's a great answer. Come to me, and I turn around and like always, I just said something along the lines of, it almost sounded quite arrogant, really, when I listened to myself saying it again. Maybe it was an arrogant way, so I do apologise for that, especially to your future, because it was a great question. I said something along the lines of, you know, go and do your homework, and then you won't need to ask that question. You'll be asking different questions. Educate yourself. Something along the lines, maybe not as harsh as what I've just said there, but yeah, probably that's quite arrogant. But it's very fair. There's a very fair context to the way I answered that. Anyway, the following day, I was sitting there thinking to myself, if that was my son, or my daughter, or my other son, or someone I was pretty close to, and they asked me that question, would I answer it? Would I have answered it in the same way? And I sat there and I thought, no, I wouldn't have done. I really wouldn't have done. And so I thought, on Whiskey Wednesday, I shall try and answer it in a very different way. In a way that I would talk to my son. In fact, we've had that conversation quite some time ago. Right, that's it. I'm not having any more after this. Famous last words, but that's it. So, how would I look at that question again? I want to invest £1,000, but I've been told it's £3,500. Well, yes, I would definitely answer that in the way the stat collector answered it, but I'd also answer it in the way I answered it as well, but try and amalgamate the two. But I would ask myself, probably I'd flip it and put myself in that situation. And I have been in that situation. So probably the better answer I would give is, other than this is the norm, work out the risk, be prepared to lose it, go for it or not. The amount is irrelevant, because that comes down to what you're comfortable with after you've done some homework. Everyone's situation is different. Now, if it was me and I was prepared to lose £1,000 and I've done my homework and I thought, yeah, I want to dip my toe in here, I understand the risk. I understand it's risky. I understand that from the not a lot of information I know of at this moment in time, if I invest that amount of money, whatever it's going to be, into that asset, whatever that's going to be, I know possibly that I might lose it all. So then you're left with a question, yes or no. And that's something I can't answer for anybody. The other thing I would turn around and say is, if you're interested in the asset and you haven't done the homework yet, then sometimes it's a good thing just to dip your toe in the water, because that will then make you do the homework. Now, everyone's different. Everyone's totally different. Now, when I say dip my toe in the water, I would dip my toe in the water with such a small amount of money that it would be insignificant if I lost it or not. But it sort of got me in. It's still my money. I still value, for argument's sake, I would put a tenner in, £10. Just £10. How do I do it? Work out how to do it. Even when you're sending money around, you're not sure. So I'd rather just lose a tenner while I'm doing my research and homework. So, I would never risk high amounts of money, which I know to everybody, £1,000, $1,000, wherever you live, €1,000, 1,000 whatever, that sounds like a lot of money to me to put into an investment that you're simply not 100% or even 50% or 25% or 75% comfortable with. So I'd probably say, if that was my son or for me, and this is what I did, I just bought a tenner's worth back in the day. And it was irrelevant. I just wanted to see how it worked, what it was. And then from there, I did my ongoing research. And as my research got more and more and more and more and more and more and more, it gave me confidence. Now, there was other things I was wanted to invest in as well, because I was wrapped up in the hype of crypto as a rule. And but I did the same thing until I was comfortable at a certain learning curve. And when I was comfortable at a certain learning curve, then I thought, okay, I might do a little bit more, might do a little bit more, might do a little bit more. Always with the view If it doesn't work, then I'm quite happy to lose it. And over one hell of a long period of time, that's how I've slowly increased my knowledge to increase my confidence in the amount of, the way I look at it is, what's the amount I want to lose, and yeah, that's basically how I should have probably answered that question, because I don't know anyone's circumstances. It's massively stupid of anybody to advise anybody anything when none of us know the personal circumstances of anybody. There's all these new rules coming out for creators. I think in the UK, I think it's the FCA, and it's great. It's fantastic. It's stuff we need to be aware of, because there's a lot of people out there that can be desperate. There's a massive argument about other things that are legal, but whatever, but that's irrelevant. We have to, take control and responsibility of what we're doing, especially if we have an influence on other people's thought processes. So it's up to us, not as creators, but as educators, to, be fair and whatever. Now, I know there's people out there that just don't give a crap about that. And one of the biggest messages I've always said to my children is, there's one thing that's guaranteed, and that says, when we live in a fiat society, there's lots of people out there that want your fiat. They want your money. And for whatever circumstances they're doing it, they would do it. There's the scammers, there's everyone. There's some really dodgy people out there. We're not all the same. So navigating ourselves through this complete wilderness of investment is a nightmare. So thank God there are regulators out there trying to keep on top of this. It's good. It's a little reminder for us all to be aware of what we're doing and how we're doing it. So hopefully that makes sense. That's why I turn around and say, do your homework. I'm sorry if it comes across as arrogant. I have never hidden the fact that in my period of time in this space, I haven't shinned away from educating myself, because I truly do value money in a very different way now in my time of life, and I would love to be able to transform that into other people to recognise that at whatever stage of life they are as well. So it's important. It's really important. So future, hopefully that answers your question better. I know a lot of people out there just want, and this is part of society now. None of us have got time. Well, some of us have more time than others, but I know what it's like. It's hard for you guys out there. I know it is. I really do. It is. I've been through it. Still go through it to a degree at my age. But it's hard. So we want quick answers. We want someone else to think for us, because we haven't got a lot of time to think for ourselves. The problem with that is you end up, and this is why we get these regulations, we end up being tired and not really looking at our current situation, and maybe trusting things out of sometimes desperation. I'm not saying everyone's the same, but this is why things like the FCA come out, and they, any government regulators, they come out and they just step in for good and for bad. But hey ho, that's a reflection of society as a rule. So you have to be careful. You have to be really careful. There is no subsidiary, is it, or substitute, sorry, for taking responsibility for yourself. And sometimes that means going that extra mile in learning. And you owe it to yourself, because I know a lot of you guys, you know, you ladies and gentlemen, work your coneheads off. You know, you work so hard. I know some people doing 2 and 3 jobs, you know, just to earn a fair crust for whatever situation you're in. So, you know, you don't want to just be throwing your money away, because there's so many people out there that will want it. They will take it off you. You know, there's people that will just con you out of whatever, rightly, wrongly, and you can sit there and reflect back after you've been through it, been there myself, and think, oh my God, if only I'd done this. So taking that responsibility yourself is just so big, and you owe it to yourself and you owe it to your family. But I get it, we all want a quick buck. You know, there's a ton of schemes, there's a ton of loads of stuff out there that you just, you know, I've read some stuff and thought, oh my God, that seems so cool. But the old adage is, if it's too good to be true, then it probably isn't. I think that's the right saying, I'm not sure. Or it sounds too good to be true, it probably isn't. But that's not always the case. That's not always the case. There's many ways that you can look when you're listening to people. Just look. You know, you just look at what they're trying to achieve. When someone's trying to give you advice, what's in it for them? Is it your best interest, or is it their best interest? You know, that's a simple one to start with. You know, if it's in your best interest, do the work. Educate yourself. So yes, getting back to your question, if I was not sure, I would no way risk £1,000 initially. You know, small steps, little steps, unless you're quite prepared to lose that £1,000. Then I don't see the point. Most of these quality investments, once you've done your homework, aren't really going to go anywhere. They're possibly going to be around for time, but you've got to work out what you want out of them, and will it fulfill what you're trying to achieve. You know, so important, so important. So that's, yeah, hopefully that makes sense. That is of some sense. Yeah, I can't think of a better way to answer it really, but hopefully that's made some sense anyway. Yeah, hopefully there's a little bit of wisdom in there. I've been bitten so many times, it's ridiculous. I've been naive, I've been stupid, I trust a lot of people, I've been totally taken to the cleaners for a lot of money in my past. And when I started this particular journey with a fair amount of money, I thought to myself at that time, I'm just not going to do that. I'm not going to do that again. I love to trust people. I love the very ethics of human love, and you know, but it's not real. It ain't a real world, and different circumstances drive different people to do different things, and it's your job to work it out, or not. It's up to you. You know, there isn't any other way around it. But it's a nice, sound, grounded background to start off with anything that you're doing. So I'm not here to say Bitcoin is a must. I'm not here to say Bitcoin is not a must. And that's the same with gold, silver, stocks and shares, buying a house, getting married, drinking a whiskey. You know, you got to just take that responsibility. But one thing I would always say is, anybody that would like to ask questions that I may be able to answer from a financial advice point of view. Just maybe a bit of support, just maybe a bit of just a chat, and then reach out, because I find that very useful too. Networking with people that are in the have the same state of mind and outlook of thinking is far greater than anything. Far greater. And there's lots of people out there. You just got to find them. Totally find them. So and then, you know, it all becomes irrelevant because you're all in the same space. You're not competing against each other. No one needs anything from anyone else, and you just do your thing, and you just get support moving along. So that's there. I can offer that for sure. In droves. Right, time to move on. Now, yeah, it's an interesting one. My giveaway. Now, I said, this was from back in October last year. I was going to do a 500 subscriber giveaway. Now, anyone that's followed my channel, I know I've got a few new people following it now. I've been, for the sake of the new people, I've always said subscribers never really sort of drove me. What it was the content. There wasn't anything out there that I needed from anybody. I'm self-driven. You know, what I need is what I will go out and get for myself. So the whole story with my channel was just to express my journey, really, and here we are today. And that was just over a year ago. No, just under a year ago. Next Wednesday is the channel's 1 year anniversary. So I'm going to have a Whiskey Wednesday as a very special evening because it's 1 year to the day. But getting back to my giveaway. So I thought, it'd be nice to do a giveaway. I used to speak to Cobra Stacker, and lots of people were doing giveaways and bits and pieces. Pardon me. I was a little bit, don't want to just get people to my channel just for a giveaway and whatever. But after chatting with Cobra Stacker about it a couple of times, I thought, oh yeah, it's a nice thing to give back, because it's really cool that people watch the content and can be bothered to comment, can be bothered to like, and can be bothered to subscribe when there's so much good content out there. So I thought to myself, yeah, I'll do a 500 subscribe, because I cannot really see myself getting there for a long time. And I sat there and I thought, what do I do? Do I do a piece of silver, a piece of gold? And then I just had this weird idea. And when I'm writing to Bitcoin, I don't talk about it too much, but I do include it on my channel. I thought, sod it. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy £100 worth of Bitcoin. This was back in October, about the 12th, 14th, 10th of October last year. And I said, what I will do when I reach 500 subscribers, I will give away that £100 worth back in October's worth of Bitcoin. We'll see where it is. Could go up, could go down. Getting back to my message a little while ago, it doesn't matter. I could afford to lose it. Now, we all know, if you follow Bitcoin, it's doing all right. And before I come over to the studio to record this, it was, oh crikey, I thought I wrote it down. Oh yeah, it was £235, which is $300, which is a fairly good percentage upwards. So it's worked. It's worked. And with the way the markets will go, who knows where it'll be the following day. Might be up, might be down. I don't know. But it's you know, that's an amazing return on £100, which is really cool. It's really cool. It's fantastic. And you know, if it was still at £100, then great. If it was at less, great. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. But it's not. It's at £235 now. So that will be a at the 500 sub giveaway. Now, I think about a month ago I was talking about it. I do post it on my channel every now. I just do a little update, little short, so keep an eye on that. And I was thinking, oh yeah, maybe next year be really nice, be fantastic if Bitcoin goes through the roof. We never know. It could drop to nothing. Hey ho. But the longer, my whole ethics around it was I believed it would be a long time before I get to 500. Lo and behold, I looked at my subscriber rate before I come over, and we're at 462. Now, a week ago, just over a week ago, I was at 272. Something like that. I'm now at 462. So that is many thanks to, I'm going to come on to that in a minute, many thanks to people that support my channel and the collaborations I'm doing with those people going forward, which I'll talk about in a second. But it just dawned on me, you know, when I've seen this rapid growth in subscriber rate, it's now like, oh my God, I haven't got much time to think about how I'm going to orchestrate giving this away. Definitely giving it away once I get to 500 subscribers. So I've got a lot of thinking to do all of a sudden, which is what I was not expecting to do so quickly. And the little challenge for me is I've got a lot of people that maybe come into the channel because there's a giveaway. I'm very aware of that. That's fine. But I've also got a lot of people that are following my channel for a long, long time. So I've got to construct a way of giving this away, because it's £235, $300 at this moment in time. It's not, you know, that's a very nice evening out for you and your missus, or, you know, taking your kids out for the day. That's not something to be sniffed at, to be fair, and I'm really proud of that. So I want to come up with a great way of giving this away. I'm not going to give it away just really easy. I'm going to try and make sure it's fair for everyone. I want to go over the 500 mark soon. It's the 1 year anniversary of my channel next week, which would be really cool. I'm going to talk about it with the chaps on this Saturday's chat with Camel and Cobra, and obviously we've got a guest off Precious Metals. I'm going to talk about it on that, and maybe come up with some ideas, get some feelers out, and I'm not going to rush it. I want to make sure we go over it. I want to make sure we sustain it, but I'll be a man to my word, and I will definitely, it won't be too long, I'll come up with a way of what I think is a fair and fundable way to give that away as a thank you, really. And then it'll be on to the 1,000 mark, which I already know what I'm going to do for the 1,000 mark, which would be really cool. But we'll see how that goes. Which is fantastic. So keep an eye out on the channel over the next week. Moving on to this Saturday. This Saturday, I'm recording Whiskey and Rum Part 5. Now initially, sorry, I've got a bit of ice cube in my mouth. Initially, this is something me and Camel Finance decided just to have a chat and record it. He's into his rum, I'm into whiskey, so hence Whiskey and Rum. And we just have a chat, really. And that went through a process over time. And then the last one we did, which was a few weeks ago, myself and Camel said, it'd be cool to get someone else on. I said, okay, should we get Cobra Stacker on? Good mate of mine. And that was probably one of the most successful videos from a feedback point of view, from an information point of view. that most people enjoyed that I've had on my channel. So that was a bit of a turning moment in me, because one, I learned a lot about myself and how I would like to move my channel going forward. And two, I thoroughly enjoyed just taking a back step, because I really do enjoy listening. Pardon me. You know, listening to people that are pretty damn cool at what they do, because it helps me, definitely helps me understand marketplaces. Sometimes it's really cool. I've got a bit of a reputation when I go on certain people's lives as not saying a lot, and that's because I do it on purpose, because I love to observe. I love the psychology of everything, and I think if you like psychology, you should have a really good feel for getting into investment to a degree. But again, that's down to education. But one of the things for me personally is sometimes to discipline myself to shut up and listen and observe, because like in any great poker game, taking notice of what's going on gives you a good idea of the sentiment and value of what people are doing, and that gives you a bit of an advantage to see how market sentiment and emotion is moving markets up and down. So getting back to the whiskey and rum, I really loved it, because I could sit back, I could enjoy it, I could observe it, I could enjoy the time with two people that I've got a lot of time for, and just orchestrate, almost like conduct the proceedings. And that turned out to be very successful. So that was a great pilot on that. It worked, and we're going to move that on, and we're going to have a guest on, whoever wants to be on. And we have a guest called Darth Precious Metals, and it's my job to make Darth comfortable, which is what I will really enjoy doing, and include him on the conversation where they all have a good time. So with that is sort of pushing people to my channel through their channels. So that's what I mean by I didn't quite expect to get the amount of subscribers that has happened recently. So not only I will say thank you to the guys, Camel Finance, Cobra Stacker, thank you very much. Thank you for everyone that promotes what I'm doing, because I'm hoping it's going to bring some value. It's going to bring some entertainment, or valuetainment. There's another way of putting it. And hopefully address things in a politically correct way to help people just generally improve their lives. And if we can ascertain that as an ongoing process in the new whiskey and rum setup, then I should be awfully proud of that. Very proud of that. So I'm looking forward to that a lot. I've done a lot of talking, haven't I? Hell of a lot of talking. I haven't shown you much, have I? I'm not much of a precious metals channel, am I? But my Whiskey Wednesday's not really like that too much. That's for my other videos, really. I mean, someone said to me the other day, what a lovely stack you've got. And I sat there and I thought, oh my God, that is a lovely stack, but that isn't my stack. That's the crazy thing about this whole journey. These are just little bits and pieces I've bought and been given, very kindly given by other people, to not only represent their channels and represent them, but to display. And yeah, I don't take it for granted, that's for sure. I love it all. I love all my stuff. I did, I just say, I've still got some stuff out from the last video I did. Some of this stuff is just crazy. I'm really into my artwork. Love it. Check out this video I did on the stuff, the arty silver that that I've bought on Cobra Stacker's channel. That he's very kindly and putting a lot of effort in to bring to the UK. This is my collection. This is my stuff that I put away and save up for, as well as you know, I'm into my sovereigns, as people will know. Let's have a good look. Just a traditional sovereign. Love my gold. Find that a very nice thing to invest into. A couple of other things. This is another piece of gold. I like my quarters. It's got a little bit of proof like this one. Very nice. Very privileged, very happy. If you follow my channel, which obviously you are because you're watching this, then yes, I'm going to be trying to create some more stuff as time goes on. Stephen's very kindly, well, bought some nice capsules to put these into before I get them tucked away. Yeah, it's just an ongoing process. So there you go. I'm just showing you a bit of bullion before I go. If you like your bullion, you can have a look at her upside down. I love these. These phoenixes are just gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. From the ball mint. Love them. Love them, love them, love them. They're super cool. So yeah, I should be working pretty damn hard to get some creative content out there going forward. So yeah, I'm going to wrap up Whiskey Wednesday. I think I've said enough for tonight. I've been a very good boy. I don't think Cobra, I did not swear. That's all for you. I've been a good boy. Yeah, going forward, keep an eye out for the giveaway. That seems like it's going to have to be sorted sooner rather than later, which is superb. Really appreciate it. Appreciate Camel. Appreciate your help. Everyone that supports me, really. Cobra 365, everyone, Stack Collector, you know, name it. Now there's so many people. Stephen, get some lovely comments for loads of different creators. I'm very privileged. Never thought I'd be in this position, really. Knocking on the door of 500. Mad. Absolutely mad. Mad. Anyway, take good care of yourselves. Be careful out there. Don't forget the message. Be careful. You know, everything's a risk. Just eliminate the risk as much as you can. If you don't understand it, you want to, you know, find your information. Find the people that you can trust for your information. Find the information that resonates with what you're trying to achieve. And trust me, if an old man like myself knocking on the door of 60 can do it, any of you can do it. That's for sure. Take good care. Been lovely. It's great to have Whiskey Wednesday back. Take good care of yourselves. See you later. Bye.